Greetings to my fellow readers and writers. Welcome to the Unabridged Reader. My name is Adrian, and this is my journey through literature and writing. I created this channel to talk about my favorite books and favorite authors, to talk about their life and how it affected their stories and their writing. I also wanted to talk about the courses that I'm taking to take a deep dive into literature from different parts of the world. And another thing that I wanted to try was to document and share my attempt towards attaining my forgotten childhood dream of becoming an author. Because who knows, one day I might be a best-selling author like Susan Collins or Robert Jordan. I always mix up Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson because of the Wheel of Time. So maybe I will be like them in the future, or maybe like Sylvia Plath or not Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte, my most favorite classic. And yeah, I'm a 30-something-year-old allied health practitioner by day. I am a dog mom. I have a golden retriever. Her name is Haru. She's currently taking a nap right now. My husband and I were both born in the Philippines, but now we have moved into New South Wales, Australia. Oh, I do have a lot of interests and hobbies. Think of a hobby, I've done it. Probably except woodworking. I've done crocheting, sewing, painting, learning a musical instrument, playing the piano or the guitar or the ukulele, drawing or illustration, crafting, learning foreign languages. I've tried everything. And I guess that's why I never really master any skill from those hobbies. But then hobbies are made to be enjoyed, yeah? I just get stuck on this mindset that I should monetize my hobbies just because everyone else is doing it. And it's giving me a lot of stress actually, but I really have to mind myself and mind my thoughts and just enjoy my hobbies, you know. I've been the reader ever since my age was in the single digits. My earliest memory of reading books were probably from The Little Prince. I also have a vivid memory of Gulliver's Travel, with the picture of Gulliver being tied up by the small people. At a young age, I started reading teen novels because my mom had a stack of those pocketbooks at home. So when I was in primary school, I've already read Sweet Valley High, Babysitter's Club. When I was in 4th or 5th grade, my friend lent me the Harry Potter books. That was such a long time ago. Book 4 wasn't even out, so I was able to read from The Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban. I had to wait for the Goblet of Fire to come out, and I remember sitting in the classroom with that thick book, reading in between classes. Book 5 was released. My mom bought me a set. I remember being so happy and being extremely disappointed because I'd probably be 11 or 12 years old, and so the age of receiving your Hogwarts letter has already passed. But I kept hoping and imagining that I will still receive my Hogwarts letter even though I was already 12. I wonder how many million other kids felt the same way. And from there, I started getting into other books as well. Hunger Games, Divergent, a lot of Maria V. Snyder. I loved her works. When I was in university, I worked as a part-time English tutor for Japanese students. There was no Zoom back then, so we used Skype. One of my students recommended Jane Eyre to me, and that was my introduction to the classics. And I'm trying to remember what literature we had to read when we were in high school. I remember Beowulf. Maybe I was too busy with high school stuff. So I read Jane Eyre, and I fell in love with the way they expressed feelings, with the way they described the surroundings. I read The Great Gatsby, Wuthering Heights, Pride and Prejudice. In the beginning though, it was hard for me to process the story, because if you've read classics, many of them, they have really, really long sentences. It's just hard to keep track. I have a lot of classics that I haven't really read yet, to be honest. And that is why I am excited to use this opportunity, use this chance to dive into those stories. And that's what inspired me to write poetry. In 2011 or 2012, I created a WordPress blog, created lots of poems about heartbreak, struggles in life, nostalgia. Life was tough back then. I mean, it's tough now, but in a different way. When you're in your early 20s, I think you feel emotions so much more compared to when you're in your 30s. I had one of my friends confirm this with me. Every time I feel sad, every time I'm going through a tough time, the poetry that I make blows my mind. For my level, for my skill level. I'm not comparing myself to Sylvia Plath or Ernest Hemingway, but whenever I'm happy, whenever life is going well, it's pretty chill, I can't for the life of me create good poems. The term tortured poet is very real. Does make sense with painting as well, and musicians as well. Such is art. Such is life. I think I'm at that point where I'm taking the time to look into my inner self and really think what I want to do for the rest of my life. Yes, I've grown to love my job, but ever since I started that, I already knew that it wasn't something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And at this point of my life, I'm already asking myself, so what now, girly? Why are we still here? What's the plan? So I'm going through some stuff. And in the meantime, as I try to figure out what I want to do in my life, I'm doing this because I enjoy literature. I love talking about it. I love reading. I love learning about the authors. I want to build something that I am passionate about. Share beautiful stories. I'm sorry, I haven't been well for a couple of days now. There's a flu going on. It's very cold in Sydney right now. You know how in films, a certain aesthetic can make you feel things? A certain sound or music can make you remember a single specific moment in your past. That's what I want to achieve. This is from my thread that I posted back in April. I want to write to make people feel. In the same way photographs and cinema makes you yearn for your younger, simpler years, I want to evoke the same feelings of nostalgia by describing landscapes, emotions, streets, and people, and I guess experiences as well. So there we go. That's the introduction for this channel. I look forward to meeting and learning from my fellow readers and writers in this space. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching.